All right, we'll open up the floor.
Hey Ronnie, I'm gonna ask you about Denzel Bird. Is he the most confident person in that defensive background?
Yeah, I feel like we all kind of carry a confidence about us, but yeah, I think he definitely is a confident player. He trusts in technique and he has great talent, so yeah, I would say he's confident.
How's it feel to be the leading tackler?
It feels great. Just being able to contribute to my team has been a long goal for mine, so it's a great step. I'm just glad I'm able to, contribute to some wins on this team.
When you came in this year, you were not as sure of the starting spot. What were your expectations? What were your goals?
Like I said, my goal was just to contribute to this team as best as I can, whether that was special teams or, fortunately it was on defense and, as I planned. So I'm just glad I'm able to do that.
How much more comfortable do you feel now compared to even before Minnesota?
A lot more comfortable, sorry I lost my voice, y'all, but, getting these 3 games under my belt has definitely helped with some experience. I still got a long ways to go, but it's definitely helped.
You guys as a defense, though, Ryan, you guys went to that 2-out safety look. We talked about that after the game the other day and stuff. How much further along are y'all in that concept and just kind of regrouping, et cetera, and moving on this week? What do you feel is different this week,
I don't want to give away the game plan or nothing like that, but I think just more reps in that too high shell and just learning more, getting the ins and out of it definitely helps.
And do you like that? You seem to play.
I'm a versatile guy. Whatever the coaches want to throw at me, I feel like I can take.
How does it change things for you? Having to go back and forth during a game. It's not something that maybe a lot of guys are asked to do.
As far as
kind of having to move back and forth as far as like whether you're back, whether you're more.
It doesn't change anything at all. I just like being on the field. So if I'm on the field, I'm straight wherever I'm at.
Ronnie, Cody Simon said you guys are trying to get just a little sharper and your underneath zone drops and you do some of that. What's the challenge there? I guess making sure your spacing's right, making sure your landing marks are right. Does it just take reps?
Yeah, it takes reps. We like to play a lot of vision on the quarterback. So just playing vision on the quarterback, being able to set, when he's set, and melting is what we call. But just moving when he moves, just following his eyes is something that can be a challenge. But I think we've been repping it a lot, and I think we'll be good on it.
How hard is that sometimes when you're watching the quarterback, you're keying off of him, but obviously he's trying to make you move somewhere. So when to take that bait and when not.
It's definitely a challenge, but I think you just got to go back to film. Sometimes you're able to kind of not guess, but just kind of anticipate some route concepts that that offense gives you. So it's just a matter of both, getting that quarterback feel and then the route recognition as well.
What role does the Ohio State pass rush kind of give you guys in terms of whether it's developing from the back? Do you kind of hope for a little more time or a little bit more of a rush throw from the quarterback, or what's the relationship there?
Yeah, I think any secondary guy would say that, as much rushes to the quarterback is better. Just, making that quarterback feel uncomfortable, maybe, whether that's getting the ball out earlier than he wants to, or just throwing that timing off with him and his receiver. So, yeah, definitely the more rush, the better always.
What do you think it is that you guys need to do to where you can play that complete game where you're able to shut a team down both against the run and against the pass?
I think it's the details for us. We watch the film and we're like this close from, that big play where something shouldn't have went wrong. So we just got to, laser focus on the details and just make sure our assignments are right.
Do you feel like you're seeing that in practice where guys are paying more attention to detail each week?
Yeah, we had a lot of guys that didn't have that much experience last year. So, we're still all learning, getting those, crinkles out, and I think we're getting better as the year goes on.
How much more comfortable do you feel now that you have 3 games where you've played a lot before coming into the season where you really hadn't played much at all?
I kind of answered that earlier, a lot more comfortable. Those 3 games has definitely helped, and like I said, I still got a long ways to go, and so does my teammates.
Is there a pressure? You mentioned that balance between the pass and rush defense. Is there a pressure being the last non-conference game to kind of, work it through before kind of these games matter to get to Indy, or what? Is there a pressure on this defense to kind of figure it out, or where's that at?
There's a standard that's been held, by the grades that have come before us, especially the guys on defense. So yeah, there's definitely a standard, and we want to set that standard, and if not, exceed that or surpass that standard. So yeah, there is a standard.
Can I ask you a technical question, sort of? When a team gets out on a wide bunch formation or inverted bunch like they did the other day, and kind of catches a couple of guys in the pick zone, as I like to call it. But what do y'all work on there? What do y'all what is the defensive backs?
I can't really give you our.
No, but don't give me that. But you don't want guys running into each other. You know what I mean? I would think y'all rep that this week a bunch and stuff. But what is sort of like key for a defensive back to do there?
I mean, we just try to play on different levels and then go on the film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was different last week with Coach Barnes making the calls versus before?
There wasn't too much of a difference, just, he was able to communicate the calls to us just like Coach Combs was before, so I wouldn't say it was too much of a difference.
And what kind of stands out about Coach Barnes? What makes him kind of unique?
He's a detailed guy. He's a really smart guy. I think he does a great job of teaching and explaining things as well, so that's one thing I like about him. I think he's a great teacher.
Coach Diddy said last week that Ryan Watts was among the people that were getting a look at safety. What have you seen from him so far in that, other than the fact that he's bigger than the other cornerbacks that they might?
He's a 6'3" long guy. A lot of people, don't even see him as a corner, but he can move and he's very versatile, and he plays corner well. And if we need him to play free safety, I'm sure he'll do that well too.
I assume it's not as easy as just taking the biggest corner and moving him to safety. Like, what do you feel like a safety needs to do to make that transition?
There's different things you got to look at, in your corner, especially for us. You may be locked in on just that receiver one, but when you're at safety, you got to make certain calls, certain checks, and your communication has to be a little bit different. So all those things come into play when you're trying to change position.
Right, where have you seen Denzel Burke really make progress the last couple of games? I mean, does he seem like he's a freshman anymore? What's your take?
No, not at all. I mean, after week one, I think kind of everyone who was watching, he didn't really seem like a freshman. He continues to make plays whenever they try to throw at him. Not too many passes are caught on him on those tick marks, those deep balls or anything intermediate as well. So, he's going to have a great season.
And what jumps out at you about him specifically, the way he plays? I mean, what?
I just love his feet, especially at the line. He times up his hands and his feet to work at a really good time. And that's one thing I really liked about him ever since he got here.
Was there a transition for him? Oh, go ahead.
Cam Martinez obviously made a couple of huge plays. What have you seen from him? I'm assuming you've seen his playmaking. That was
Yeah, Cam is a super detailed guy. You ask anyone in our secondary room, everyone knows that if you open his notebooks, he's going to have the most detailed notes. So it was just a matter of him getting the opportunity. We all know he can do it. He's a great athlete as well.
Was there a transition for Denzel? I mean, obviously he's facing Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson in practice. I mean, but when the lights turned on, was there a transition? In because it seems like he overcame it relatively quickly.
No, I wouldn't say it. I mean, if anything, I think practicing, the number one and number two best receivers in the country only helps you, when it's game day. So, yeah.
Which one's number one and which one's number two?
They're both two great receivers, man. It was both our guys. But they definitely wanted to. They won A, 1B. I'll say that.
You believe Chris Olave was shut out last week? Of course, there are a lot of things came into that, but is that hard to wrap your head around?
I mean, I don't spend too much time on the offensive side of our thing, so I don't really know too much what was going on there. But it doesn't bother me. I don't think anything's going to happen.
That's what he said. As long as y'all won, it didn't matter to him.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is a great guy. I'm sure he puts the team first, so.
Ronnie, do you already have lots of family members asking you for tickets for next week's game at Rutgers?
I definitely got some fam that want to come to that game, so yeah, for sure.
A couple more questions for Ronnie. Ronnie, for you, your defense is one of the youngest in the country. I mean, is there a limit to how patient people on the outside should be with you guys? Do you feel like people are being fair in the assessment?
We've never been looking for that outside, approval or anything like that. All we need is the guys in that locker room or in that secondary room. We come in and we work on the things that we need to work on. It was never really about, no disrespect, but you guys or the media or anything like that. It was never about that. So we know what we need to work on when we watch the film, and then we drill that during the week.
So is the focus on, is it consistency at this point for you guys, or kind of what's...
It's the things we need to work on after we watch film.